focus away from the national capital towards some updates that are coming in from Karnataka as far as the Dharmasthala case is concerned, where a former sanitation worker had filed a complaint alleging he was forced to dispose of hundreds of bodies between 1995 and 2014. Now, NewsX has accessed the copy of the FIR, the complaint that has been filed by the mother of the missing first-year MBBS student, Ms. Ananya Bhat. Now, this complaint is filed through an advocate, and the case had been filed by the mother seeking help from the police to locate the skeletal remains of her daughter who went missing under mysterious circumstances in 2003. On this, a special investigation team had been ordered to be convened on the 19th of July. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this letter. This letter is open on my screen over here if our PCR crew can take it up. This letter is dated 15th July 2025. It's addressed to the Superintendent of Police, Dakshin Kannad District, and the SHO of the Dharmasthala Police Station. So the mother writes, this is regarding the request to find the skeletal remains of her daughter Ananya Bhat, who was pursuing a medical degree and went missing in 2003 after visiting the temple to perform her mandated final rites. It is in connection with the above mentioned subject that the mother has penned this particular letter. Then she recounts that in 2003 she was working as a stenographer in the Central Bureau of Investigation in Kolkata, and at that time her daughter was a first-year MBBS student at a medical college in Manipal in Udupi district. She had gone on a trip to Dharmasthala with her classmates, and then a girl named Rashmi, one of her classmates who was with her, called her office landline and informed her that Ananya had gone missing at the Dharmasthala temple. The mother then immediately called her hostel and informed that Ananya had not been seen for 2 to 3 days. She then travelled for 2 days by train from Kolkata, went to Dharmasthala and inquired with the temple staff and locals about her daughter, describing her identity. Then the locals near the temple informed her that 3 days prior, the temple staff was seen taking away a young woman, and her identity matched Ananya's photograph that she showed them. She went from Dharmasthala to Belthangadi police station to lodge a complaint. However, the officers and staff at the station refused to take her complaint and threatened her, saying, "How do we know where your daughter is? She must have eloped with someone. So many people come and go missing every day. We cannot take everyone's complaint." And they told her to leave. They then sent her out of the station as well. Afterwards, she went directly to meet Dharmadhikari Veerana Hegde of the temple and expressed her distress about her daughter missing. And at that time, his brother, the chief temple officer, he was also present with him. And after hearing her plea, both of them abused her in vulgar language, and they uttered that it's not their job to guard her daughter and her daughter must have eloped. So this is what they had told her, despite the pain of her loss. She later went to 4 temple staff members who were dressed in white clothes. They came to where she was sitting and said, "Come with us, we will provide information about your daughter." They then took her to a room near the temple, made her sit on a chair, and then threatened her, saying, "Forget about your daughter's matter here and leave. You should not tell anyone about their bosses," that's the chief of the temple, hitting them, "and don't sit there crying in front of the temple like this. If you don't leave, your life will be in danger." That's what the temple staff told this grieving mother. Then she replied that she would not leave without seeing her daughter, and those 4 men tied her tightly to a chair with ropes, gagged her mouth with a cloth, switched off the room's light and kept her in the dark room all night. The same temple staff, dressed in white, then hit her head hard in the morning. Afterwards, she was in coma for 3 months, and when she regained consciousness, she was admitted and receiving treatment at the Agadi Hospital in Wilson College in Bengaluru. She did not know how she got there or who brought her to Bengaluru from Dharmasthala. Her bag, identification card, bank passbook and vanity bag, none of them were with her. And she had a wound on her head with 8 stitches due to the strong blow after being hit by the temple staff. Having lost her daughter and with her whereabouts unknown, she had been living a life of fear and despair for many, many years. And then recently, she'd seen news on YouTube, in newspapers and on national channels about a cleaning worker in Dharmasthala who claimed to have buried many female bodies and submitted a human skull to the court. Therefore, she said that it's possible that the same person might have buried her daughter as well. And for this reason, she claims that at least her daughter's skeleton might be found in the area surrounding Dharmasthala, and she's also in fact stated that she's immediately ready to undergo a polygraph examination, and she is in fact waiting to inform the judge about other points that she's not mentioned here. So of course, a grieving mother penning a clear letter, filing a complaint. Her daughter went missing in 2003. My colleague Belly Thomas joins us on the broadcast live from the Dharmasthala police station. Belly, what's the latest as far as this probe is concerned? And you've also managed to get access to this complaint that has been filed. It's quite the shocking case that has come out regarding the burial of countless bodies of women and young children over there.
Absolutely, PR. Right now, I'm standing in front of the Dharmasthala police station, where Ananya Bhat's mother had filed a missing complaint here after coming to know about the news of a sanitation worker in Dharmasthala who was working in Dharmasthala, had approached the court and who had taken a skeleton along with him and given a voluntary statement that there are many hundreds of women and minor children who were sexually assaulted that he had buried, and so this news had caught her attention, and she had come all the way to file a complaint on July 15th here at the police station, requesting that the police should exhume the mortal remains of a body, so that according to Sanatana Dharma, she has to do the final rites for her to get the atonement, is what she has mentioned in the complaint. So she believes that this sanitation worker would have buried her daughter Ananya as well. So Ananya goes missing in 2003 while she had come here with her classmates on a trip. She had not informed her hostel, and she went missing. One of her classmates, Rashmi, had called the landline of Ananya's mother, Sujata, who was working as a stenographer at the Central Bureau of Investigation office in Kolkata, and informed her that Ananya has gone missing, and Ananya's mother, Sujata, had taken a train from Kolkata, and she had come all the way to Dharmasthala for traveling the train for 2 days, and she reached Dharmasthala and she inquired with the locals here in front of the temple, and she learnt that there were some temple staff who had taken a young woman that fitted her identity, and it was then she thought she would inquire with the temple, the chief temple priest, and she had gone there also, but she was disdainfully escorted out with the temple staff, stating that it was not their duty to guard her daughter, and also told her that her daughter could have eloped with someone, and you go and search for yourself. And with shattered hope, she started sitting in front of the temple and crying when again the temple staff dressed in whites approached her and took her to a place where they said that they have an idea where her daughter was, and she got locked up in a room where she was tied to a chair, stating that she was not supposed to sit here and make a big fuss about it or a scene about it, and then she was beaten up is what she states in her complaint. So she after she gets assaulted, she wakes up in a coma at a hospital in Wilson Garden in Bangalore, and she doesn't have any clue about how she had reached there, and by the time she had her bag, her bank passbook, her identity card, her vanity bag, all has gone missing, and she was unable to pursue this case as when she had gone to the Beltangadi police station in 2003. This police station was not there. It was the Beltangadi police station that the Dharmasthala temple jurisdiction was under, and she had gone there, but even the cops had shooed away from there. So she didn't have any hopes, and she had to keep quiet for these long years until this sanitation worker has come up with glaring confessions that he was the one who had buried hundreds of victims who were subjected to extreme sexual violences, is what he is alleging. And Ananya's mother also thinks that the skeleton that this sanitation worker would have carried could have been her daughters also. So it is the duty of the police to actually exhume the skeletons here and conduct a DNA test so that the match is done and the final rites are would be carried out. So this is her request, and she is waiting for a closure for this. Meanwhile, the government has also constituted an SIT now, where the 4 IPS officers, including one women IPS officer, will be probing into the matter, and there are some hopes for Ananya's mother, is what we gather as of now, Pia.
Absolutely.